Spirituality, I think, in its deepest sense, is something we engage in, right? It's not something we simply believe in. It's not even, at the end of the day, sort of a set of teachings, ancient or new. It even is. It even goes beyond. Well, it goes beyond all the spiritual kind of experiences we hear about, awakenings, revelatory kind of experiences and shifts of consciousness, all of that, which are, of course, I think, an integral part of deeper spirituality. But our spirituality needs to be based in something tangible, something simple, right? And something practicable. In that sense, we have to be willing to also see beyond seeing spirituality through a sort of goal-oriented lens, which it's not that we should never have a goal-oriented lens, because of course we're perceiving, I suppose, at any moment simply the way we are perceiving. And yet sometimes people think that spirituality, it's this whole approach to one's experience, and the goal is some sort of revelatory insight, some sort of spiritual awakening. And while that's part of it, and an important part of it, essential part of it, if we think that's ultimately what it is, if we think that is ultimately what it's about, if it's this linear pursuit of some great experience that's going to transform our lives, solve all of our problems, and, well, whatever we think, I suppose, we think that such an experience is going to do for us, I think we're seeing spirituality in a rather limited context. It's not unlike just our life, in a way, that when our life has no mooring, has no anchorage, when we don't know what our fundamental orientation to life is, and I think a lot of people don't know what their fundamental orientation to life is, what their deepest commitments are, right? What they're committing their life to, what in years past, in courses I've taught, I've talked about sort of what deep sort of commitments or values. I've used the word at times soul values. What's valuable from the deepest dimension of our being. What's meaningful. What's valuable. What is worth orienting a life around. If we never contemplate these kind of questions, then our life tends to be dictated by outward forces. Without even knowing it, without contemplating it deeply, we're just sort of moving around in life, and things are happening, and the days and weeks and months and years go by, and we're committed to things we don't even know we're committed to, really. Maybe we're committed to sort of certain values, certain things that are important, and we often don't even know what they are because they've been handed to us, perhaps by our culture, perhaps by our parents, or perhaps by teachers, or who knows where they come from. I think real spirituality beyond mere belief, spirituality begins when we start to call our life into question. In a certain sense, that's the point of departure. When we really start to look at, what am I oriented around? What do I value? What's important? As well as the sort of more fundamental, I guess you could say, existential questions of who am I? What is life? But all these kind of go together in a way, and they all have relevance. And like I said, I do think it's an important part of spirituality to reflect and to see what our life is serving, because all of us, you and me and everybody around us, our lives are in service to something. We may not know what it is. Maybe you've never really asked these kind of questions. What is my life? For some people, they'd say, what do you mean my life is in service to something, right? Some people, their life is in service to anger or resentment or blame or any other host of sort of negative orientations. Some people, their orientation is, we could say, to the good life, to something more positive, but it may not really be authentic to them. It may not derive from their core, from a deep place within them. You see, because an important part, I think, of spirituality is when we begin to, it's like if you were going on a voyage and you have to cast off from the comfortable shore, from what you know, from your certainties, known and unknown, from the known and unknown beliefs about the way things are. It's no simple voyage to find yourself in a deep way. There's something within us that wants somebody to show us our depth, our essence,